Everyone is missing their favorite coffee shops, but we can't go there. The only thing that we can do for them is buy their local coffees and go make a coffee shop setting at home. For my own coffee shop setting at home, what I like to do is I go to the kitchen and I switch off all the lights and I start from there. I make some ambient lights using the fairy lights I have for my photography. Then I find a playlist of choice. Usually I go to Spotify and I type coffee shop playlist, and then after that I will start making my coffee. Usually at night I prefer making a flat white coffee because the way I make it, it doesn't have a lot of caffeine. Then I create a mood by going to Spotify and finding the ambience for a coffee shop, and usually there's voices in the background and I enjoy the atmosphere. And I'll switch on a candle and I'll enjoy my coffee while working in the kitchen. So my kitchen goes from being a regular kitchen to being a coffee shop setting kind of situation, of which it's sometimes nice to do once in a while when you're missing the coffee shops and the coffee shop vibe. During the lockdown, I've started following a certain routine where once I wake up and I'm done having breakfast, what I'll do is I'll go sit in one of the spare bedrooms and just listen to a podcast. Currently, I'm listening to a podcast by Robin Sharma Mastery Session, where he talks about the 4 truths of self-love. I usually listen to that podcast while maybe practicing how to do my surgical note or even suturing. And he also continues to talk about how when you love yourself more, you grow intimacy with yourself. Sometime during the day when I'm working on my laptop doing some design work, I listen to a podcast by Jenning21 where she is currently talking about self-affirmation and speaking to our own subconscious mind by affirming ourselves as a daily routine, which becomes a weekly routine. She also gives tips on how to write your own words of affirmation, of which is something cool to do and listen for your own self-growth. When I start preparing my dinner or doing the dishes, I like to listen to some deep house, specifically South African deep house. So I'll go onto my iPad, I'll type Deep House South Africa on YouTube, and usually one of the first viral ones is the ones that I go to, and it's really some good music. And as I wait for my dinner to finish, because once I start cooking, I like to wait there for the food, because for me, cooking it's an art, it's a craft. I'll be sitting on the counter, I'll even read a book or two. Currently, I'm reading the Oxford clinical book, which is something that I try and read on a daily basis. Sometimes it doesn't happen, sometimes it does. So that's basically what's on my speakers during the lockdown.